Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy JD. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all had a great day. I hope you're all enjoying the lead up to Christmas. It can be a very, very busy time for everybody, so I do appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out this video. And on this channel, the news does not stop. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a follow-up story on a situation I covered a few days ago where the University of Washington was set to hand a 17-year-old volleyball player who is a male identifying as a female, one of 12 D1 volleyball scholarships available to women, and these are barely handed out, by the way, with around only 3 to 4 being handed out each year. So this caused a lot of justifiable backlash all over social media because, well, firstly, as we know, men shouldn't be competing in women's sports. They don't belong in there. And secondly, along with that, we have a prestigious scholarship being taken away from other women, and that shouldn't be happening. And Riley Gaines raised awareness on this whole situation by posting this on X a few days ago. Male takes women's volleyball scholarship at UW, a soon-to-be Big Ten school, stealing the already few opportunities for women at the collegiate level. How can he be proud? At UV, volleyball should rescind the scholarship. If they really care about women, he can play with the men. And that post added a lot more eyes to the whole story for obvious reasons, because Riley Gaines is a notable figure. She's doing amazing things for women and their sports, but she was also met, as you would imagine as well, with a lot of backlash because apparently you're not allowed to call this out. Nah, that's the worst thing you can do. You know, you're apparently supposed to sit there and be okay with it. Yeah, this is stunning. This is brave. Well done them. Yeah, and we'll be talking about the backlash she received later on in the video because a woke actor essentially called her out for doing this and she responded and absolutely owned them. But firstly, some news surrounding the whole scholarship situation, because due to the reaction on social media, reportedly the University of Washington have revoked their offer, which Riley Gaines also has responded to. And according to sources, the coaches had no idea they were in fact a male. Sportskeeda go on to report the power of public opinion and accountability. Riley Gaines on University of Washington reportedly revoking trans volleyball player scholarship. Riley Gaines recently criticized a transgender volleyball player competing against cisgender women and expressed satisfaction after the latter was denied a scholarship. So we can already see how Sportskeeda feel about this whole situation, using the term cisgender women degrading and also an insult to women. Tate Dracer, a transgender volleyball player, was about to secure one of 12 D1 volleyball scholarships that are offered to women. Yes, women. Dracer was presented the California Interscholastic Federation's Division V Player of the 2022-23 season award after he contributed to 2 USA volleyball teams that won national titles. Wow. And people aren't supposed to have an issue with this? Okay. In June 2023, the 17-year-old reportedly made a verbal commitment to enroll in the University of Washington. This would have been through one of the 12 scholarships extended over 4 years, with only 2 or 3 being offered per year. A few days ago, however, Gaines criticized Dracer for stealing an opportunity for female athletes. She also recommended the University of Washington to overturn the scholarship. She again goes on to post on X, it's alleged that at UW Volleyball rescinded the scholarship from the male vying to play with the women. Sources say the coaches had no idea he is a male. He and his family concealed his sex throughout the entering recruiting process. The power of public opinion and accountability. And with Riley Gaines calling this out and posting it on social media, as I've said, she was met with a lot of backlash from these liberals who act the same with truth as Dracula does with the sunlight. One user goes on to say, "I'm so sorry that you've never learned what good sportsmanship is, Riley. It's sad that your parents never instilled that in you. See, a good sportsman, they learn to lose just as gracefully as they win. They don't get all bitter about it like you have. They don't blame their loss on everyone but themselves. You are just tragic." Right? And I think you need to do some self-reflection there and, you know, really look into Riley Gaines' story and the experiences other women are going through to say women should essentially lose gracefully to men who shouldn't be in their sport is just absolute insanity. But it just shows you the level of insanity we're at right now within society. But a very progressive actor has also got involved with this situation, Takei. He has linked an article on X which essentially calls out and condemns Riley Gaines, because the article is all about slamming Riley Gaines for calling this out. Anti-trans swimmer slammed after causing trans teen to lose volleyball scholarship. Outspoken anti-trans swimmer Riley Gaines was called out for bullying after she complained about a trans teen's volleyball scholarship to play at the University of Washington, allegedly leading to the scholarship being revoked. Anti-trans swimmer Riley Gaines has once again sparked outrage, man, these people, after her public campaign against a trans high school student resulted in the teen's college scholarship being revoked. The 17-year-old is said to have verbally committed to a volleyball scholarship, one of several scholarships he was offered by the University of Washington. It's unclear how Gaines knew about the team, but she took to X, aka Twitter, last week to write a cruel screed against the student, outing and misgendering him, revealing his identity with a photo and calling on UW to revoke his scholarship. Yes, apparently she wrote a cruel screed about them, she outed them, she misgendered them. Look, to me, this emotional guilt trip tactic is used to make it seem like Riley Gaines is this evil person, she's mean and hateful, and they kind of hope, when the average person, I think anyway, when they see this, they hope people don't call it out, they don't say they have an issue with this, they don't speak out against this issue, because this is how they get represented by not only this article, but the mainstream media. It's always the same, it's always the case. They condemn the person like Riley Gaines for speaking out on this issue. But Riley Gaines responds to George Takei linking this article on X by saying the following: anti-woman elderly actor slammed and ratioed after supporting the abuse of women in their own spaces. Damn, and that's what it is when people go along with this. And it's so interesting because, as we always say, these leftist liberals who sit there and they claim they stand up for women, we're all for women's rights, yet they're the same people who advocate for men going into women's sports, taking places away, awards away, money away from the very women they claim to care so much about. Yeah, it's very odd ways of thinking. I can't wrap my head around that one. But let's just take a look at some of the other replies from people responding to George's post. This is a win for women. Girls' scholarships are for girls. It's sad that you hate women so much. I stand with real women. I stand with Riley Gaines. Yeah, and most of the replies to his post are pretty much the same. It didn't go down as well as he thought it would. He was probably hoping for a good reaction to this. Oh, I'm going to call out Riley Gaines, yet common sense and the actual public perception of this issue quite hasn't clicked with this man yet, and also a few others. Look, we shouldn't be in this position in the very first place. Should we? Women's sports shouldn't be in this position, because men shouldn't be allowed to enter just based on how they feel. People's feelings and individuals' feelings, because then those feelings, as I always say, get put ahead of women in the sport, a higher pedestal, and ahead of the integrity of the sport. And it affects everybody involved. This scholarship should have been handed to a woman. Then obviously the identity of the individual comes into play, whether the university knew or not, but that's just the reality of it. This should be for women as intended. It's really common sense, isn't it? But common sense seems to be the thing society wants to avoid at this rate. And if you stand up for the truth, reality, common sense, you get labeled all these buzzwords, don't you? When you aren't those things. You aren't a bigot for standing up for women's sports, the truth, reality, all of these things. And that's the position the left have and the liberals have put society in. Anybody who stands up for the truth now, and it doesn't even matter what it is, it can be any issue liberals hate, right? You stand up for the truth and that's it. You should be cancelled. You should be condemned for saying the truth. But if we embraced truth and common sense in society more than delusion and people's feelings, well, I think maybe things would look a little bit different. But what do I know? What do I know? What are your thoughts, though? Ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts down below on this whole issue. What are your thoughts on Riley Gaines calling it out? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed today, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.